When we first learned about the damaging effects of palm oil and the deforestation it can cause over the world, we naturally wanted to avoid it and stop using it altogether. However, I've done some extensive research on palm oil and I've found that avoiding it may not be the best option for the environment, and this is why. So let's start with the basics. Palm oil is oil from the fruit of a palm tree. So the oil comes from two parts. It comes from the flesh of the fruit and then from the kernel, the stone inside of the fruit. So there's two ways to get the stone from the fruit. Palm oil trees are native to Africa, although they were brought to South Asia around 100 years ago. And now 85% of palm oil production is in Indonesia and Malaysia, although it's produced in 42 other countries. 50% of the items that we buy when we go to the supermarkets typically contain palm oil. It's found in products from food to health products such as shampoos and other health products. It's also used in animal feed and biofuel, although not in the UK. The reason why it's been used in so many different products and it's so widely used is because of how versatile it is. For example, it sets at room temperature, which makes it spreadable. It's colourless and odourless, so it doesn't add any of its own flavours or colours to any products that it's used. It is also resistant to oxidation, which gives the product a long shelf life. However, as we know, palm oil is one of the main drivers of deforestation, especially in Indonesia. And it's not only is it causing more carbon emissions to be emitted into the air, but it also is threatening and endangering wildlife such as orangutans who live in the forests, which are being cut down to make way for palm oil plantations. However, the reason why palm oil is used is because of how land efficient it is. Palm oil supplies 35% of the oil demand on just 10% of the land, and that's the reason why it's so widely used. And if we switch to other vegetable oils, that would then cause more deforestation because more land would need to be used to yield the same level of crops, basically. Naturally, the main way to solve this problem is to consider our spending habits and obviously change our relationship with consumerism and think about whether we really need to be buying the things that we're buying that contain palm oil. But when it comes to buying products that contain palm oil, we need to be looking for products with sustainable palm oil, specifically certified by the RSPO, which is the Roundtable of Sustainable Palm Oil. And this is an organisation who work with every member of the supply chain, from the producers to the farmers, as well as charities, to basically make sure that palm oil production doesn't negatively affect the environment or the wildlife or the communities or the workers at any stage of the process. They put together very strict guidelines that all companies and producers and farmers will have to follow at every stage of the process to ensure that the community, the environment, the wildlife are not being compromised and negatively affected. So when it comes to buying products, obviously we want to change our relationship, making sure we're definitely buying something that we definitely need, which I've discussed before. But we also want to basically make sure that when we are buying things that contain palm oil, because obviously it's in so many different things, it's very difficult to avoid everything. We want to basically make sure that if we're buying something that's got palm oil in it, it's been sustainably sourced and certified by the RSPO.